See this right here? A very good friend of mine gave me this. It's a piece of a log. She was very busy cutting down a tree. And then I saw her and I said, "May I have a piece of that limb that you just cut down?" And she said, "Sure." And she gave me this piece of wood. And I appreciate it. And I keep this piece of wood because that's the result of her handiwork. And that's important to me. See, one of the best gifts that we have is our ability to give. It doesn't matter how little you have. It's in giving that we feel appreciated. And quite frankly, you don't need anyone's permission to be good and to give and to be compassionate. I don't think Mother Teresa went into the government of Calcutta and said, "Look, I want to start a home for girls in Calcutta." No, she saw a need and she filled it. Now, after she died, a lot of people said a lot of negative things about Mother Teresa. But I'll bet you the girls that she helped had nothing but good things to say about her. My point is this. A lot of times we're overwhelmed with the evening news. And we're overwhelmed because we see the negative things that are happening without seeing the reality of it all. The next time you watch the news, this is what I'd like you to do. I would like you to listen carefully about the amount of crimes in your city compared to the population of your city. You simply take the amount of crimes and divide it by the population. If 3 people committed a crime last night out of a population of 100,000 people, what's the percentage? Now, a lot of people will commit crimes, not necessarily because they're bad people, but because circumstances warrant that they do something. Do something. Okay? And you got to remember that bad politicians create situations that create crime. Crime then becomes the fodder for them getting reelected. Think about that one. Okay, now I know I'm going to get a lot of comments about that, but that's okay. That's okay. Some cities will build low-income housing in areas where there are no jobs and really bad schools, knowing the result. Anyway, what I really want to talk about is that you, as an individual, you are a very good person. I think many people, when left to their own devices, as a matter of fact, the majority of people, when left to their own devices, are very good people. They're doing everything they can to be the best human being that they can be. So, what I'm asking you to do is this. Do not allow negative news and a handful of people to distort your perception of good. That's what I'm asking. It's that season again, isn't it? The season when we're tempted to do good and to give gifts. And a lot of gifts that we give are really meaningless gifts. We know that we are required to give gifts, but we don't put a lot of thought into the gifts that we give. So we buy unnecessary gifts to give them to people who don't want them because we feel as if we have done what we're supposed to do. I would suggest instead to really give some thought to the gifts that you're giving. And it's really not about the cost of the gift. It is really more about the intent and your motivation for giving the gifts. Recently, Sean gave me some shirts, and I've been thinking about getting some warm clothing anyways, wintertime. You see how I'm dressed. I've just been thinking about that, and I have really put a lot of thought into receiving warmth. Now, I wasn't thinking in terms of what the warmth would be. All I was thinking about is the warm clothing. Warm clothing. I didn't care about the brand. I don't care about what it is going to be. I just thought about the feeling of warmth. Don't ask for things. Ask for the satisfaction of feelings. Don't ask for a big house. Ask for shelter. Don't ask for a huge meal. Ask for the feeling of being full, being satisfied. Don't ask for things. Ask for the satisfaction of feelings. See what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. And then you'll begin to get what you want. Why? Because everything about you will start to concentrate on the feeling. I thought about the feeling of being warm, and Sean gave me all these beautiful winter clothing. You see what I mean? I didn't ask Sean for the winter clothing, but he gave them to me because he felt there's a need to do that, and he put a lot of thought into it, and I am the recipient of Sean's generosity, of my satisfaction, of feeling warm. I don't know if I got my point across, but you need to read my book. Prayer works, but not the way you think. And that in that book, I explain exactly what I'm talking about. So, this season, give thoughtful gifts, or don't give them at all. By the way, we always think of gifts as things, but gifts can also be gestures. As a matter of fact, quite often gifts come in the way of information. Something that you didn't know, but in knowing could save you a lot of money. You know what I mean? Okay, take somewhere in your drawer, somewhere, you have one of these things. It's a cell phone that's just sitting in there right now. Well, I'm going to give you some information, and if you have heard this before, then just delete what I'm about to say. Just fast forward, don't even listen. But quite often, you are bothered by spam, phone calls on your phone that you don't want, and it's quite annoying. I have come up with a solution. That solution is to reactivate one of these things that's now sitting in your drawer by going to Mint Mobile. You pay $45 and you have 6 months of service. Right. $45, 6 months of service. And what you do, you simply put it on a phone like this, keep it plugged in at your house all the time, and give that phone number to people and corporations and companies that ask for your phone number. And you know darn well that they're going to sell your number. And you're going to be really bothered with spam. Not spam, but phone calls that you don't really want. So, get out that old phone. Get Mint Mobile. It's limited service. Unlimited talk and text, of course, and very, very limited data. Get a phone number and give out that phone number. Keep that phone plugged in at your house all the time, and every evening just see what messages you receive. Now, here's a hint. The people that are calling you, the phone calls that are not necessary, they will never leave a message. But occasionally you will get a phone call that's important, none of which will ever be so important that you have to answer right away. So, that's my gift. Information. That's my gift for you today.